Welcome everybody to Go Local Live. I'm Josh Fenton, CEO and co-founder. A lot of news, new inflation numbers out, almost pushing 8%, 7.9%. Obviously, gasoline prices are a factor, and they're obviously driven in part by the Ukraine situation, the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. A lot of news on that, and many more things. Take a look at them. But let's go to some positive news. 401Gives, the United Way effort to really help the nonprofit community, kicks off in 19 days, and GoLocal's been a partner on this. This is the third year, and every year we've kicked off with Josh Short from the Wilbury Theatre. Josh, thanks so much for joining us for year 3.
My pleasure, Josh. Thanks for having me.
So this was a crazy idea. I think it was Courtney Nicolato who came up with this idea for 401Gives over at the United Way. She comes up with this. We're a month into the pandemic. You know, the entire world is shut down. Everybody's as miserable as can be. Unemployment, I think, in Rhode Island was pushing 20%. It was cataclysmic. And she says, let's raise some money and help the nonprofits. And everybody came together. Year 2, I think the number almost doubled in the amount that they raised. And now here we are in year 3. Everybody's got a job. By the way, they could have 2 jobs if they wanted them. There's so many jobs that are vacant. Let's look at this thing. How important has 401Gives been to a theater company like yourself? You've been one of the most innovative organizations during the pandemic. How has 401Gives impacted you guys?
Thanks, Josh. It's been, I mean, that first year, it was a lifesaver. You know, in 2020, when things just shut down so abruptly, you know, you weren't sure, you know, where the next donation or when your next ticket sale opportunity was even going to be. And I think that first year for us and for so many others, it was just an incredible opportunity to kind of energize people around supporting nonprofits. And then last year, you know, we doubled what we did that very first year. It's an incredible opportunity, I think, both to teach people about the importance of giving and about how much nonprofits like ours and like so many others depend on the generosity of individuals. So it's been a really incredible experience so far, and we're so happy to be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it also has this sort of homegrown feel to it, and give all the credit to the United Way for kind of pulling this together. It's, you know, it's Rhode Island's thing, and it's on April 1st, and everybody is really encouraged to make donations to all the nonprofit partners that you're friends with, and probably in about, I don't want to give away your email strategy, Josh, but in about 10 days, everybody's email boxes will be flooded with requests from the nonprofit community. Talk about, you know, talk a little bit about how you've transitioned through the pandemic. You're almost an entirely different business model from 3 years ago than you are today. I always give you credit. I don't know that there's an organization, a company in Rhode Island that has, I don't want to say, been able to adapt and expand better than the Wilbury during this incredibly difficult business climate.
Thanks, Josh. I mean, I tell people, I mean, you're just trying to eat here. You know, it's like one thing, trying to keep this dream alive of a nonprofit theater company that can both employ artists and serve a community and make it happen through this pandemic. So, you know, we just, you know, the pivots, you know, the adaptations, going to streaming, you know, the partnership we worked out with you and GoLocal, and being able to continue sharing work from our artists through that platform, and then moving all our productions outside. And I mean, we are really just, it's been one foot in front of the other for the last couple of years, and we're incredibly grateful to the community that supported us and helped us get through it, and the people who have, you know, rolled with us through everything from the streaming work to, you know, an outdoor production in December, you know, at a drive-in theater. You know, from one thing to the next, it's just been a really incredible experience, and we're just so grateful to everybody that supported us along the way. So it's such an amazing community here in Rhode Island. People want to give, they want to support, and they appreciate innovation and tenacity when they see it. And we just feel really lucky to be part of that.
You've got a couple big events. You've got a big production opening, and then, of course, in the summer, there's Fringe. I mean, let's break those down. Big production, let's talk about that first.
Yeah, well, we've got in a few weeks, we're opening the world premiere of Antigonix, which is a new adaptation of Antigone by Shea Rivera Rios, who's a resident artist with us here. And then that production is going to run here in our new performance space inside the Waterfire Arts Center for a couple of weeks. And then it transfers to the Magdalena Festival in Ashfield, Massachusetts for a couple of weeks. And then after that, we'll be presenting the Rhode Island premiere of Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812, which is, a big, really, a lot of fun, amazing musical. And we're excited to be doing that. That'll be our first musical since the pandemic shut everything down. And then looking towards the summer, we've got the Providence Fringe Festival, which is now, last year, we moved it to 2 weeks, and we'll have performances streaming both online and outdoors and inside. So we're going to be all the wonderful, crazy things that we learned during the pandemic. We're going to be wrapping those into what we hope is also a return to a more traditional Fringe Festival, and that performances inside and that sort of thing. So yeah, we got a busy few months ahead for sure. And
Fringe is, to put it mildly, eclectic? Is that eclectic on steroids times infinity?
Highly eclectic. I mean, it's everything from, music and dance and theater, of course, to comedy. And, we always get a few magicians and magic shows that come through, which are just one of my, personal favorites. I love a good magic show. So it's a little bit of everything all rolled into one. And the applications, the early bird artist applications close March 15th, and then there are regular applications open until April 15th. So they're already rolling in, and just the variety of stuff that comes in is just really, it just makes you so happy to be part of it.
And this is literally artists from all over. I mean, this isn't just Rhode Island artists. This is some major talent that wants to perform at Fringe from really all over the country.
Yeah, absolutely. All over the country. We're now New England's largest Fringe festival here in Providence, and the artists from around the country and Canada and from beyond, they all have worked Providence into their Fringe circuit, and they hit San Diego and they hit Orlando and DC, and then they come up to Providence, and it's, we're one of the largest on the East Coast now. It's been really great.
We're excited about, an incredible spring and into the summer. Let's talk about the importance of giving. This part of it's really no joke. Nonprofit community has been hit harder than any other business sector, and it's a big business sector in Rhode Island. It's one of the top 5 largest sectors of the economy. 401Gives is not only an opportunity to support, it's a critical element of how you are able to fund employing your team, supporting other artists, all that collaboration that goes on. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, 401Gives Day in the last just couple of years, it's established itself. It's one of the most important days in our fundraising year. It's our second highest giving day, just behind Giving Tuesday, and we expect that this year it will actually surpass, the donations that we brought in on Giving Tuesday. So it's rapidly becoming one of the most important fundraising days of the entire year. There's just so few opportunities, I think, to call attention to the fact that organizations like ours and so many other nonprofits only exist. Literally, they only exist, because of the generosity of individuals who want to see them exist. And I know that everybody, that your support makes it possible, and viewers like you, those kinds of things, people just kind of, but it's true, and we are just so grateful to the community for sharing their means and their resources with organizations and nonprofits like ours.
Well, Josh Short, thanks so much. 3 years in a row, you've kicked off our programming on supporting 401Gives. Kudos to the United Way on coming up with this. When you first think about it, in the middle of the pandemic, at the very beginning, right when everyone's unemployed, and raised, more than $1 million that first year. The goal this year is some crazy number. I'm not even going to discuss it today, but I think Rhode Island will be able to achieve it. Josh Short, congratulations. I always say, of all the people in business in Rhode Island, I don't think anybody was smarter, more innovative, more adaptive during the course of this last 2 years than you and the Wilbury. So kudos to you, and always appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Thanks so much, Josh. I really appreciate the support, and thanks for all you do to get the word out about these incredible events. Thank you.
For everybody else, stay tuned. Lots going on. PC, Play Stay, and the Big East Tournament. We'll have updates on that. There's a lot of coverage on just about everything, and it is, as we all know, the very beginning of political season, everyone's favorite entertainment here in Rhode Island. Stay tuned for coverage on that nonstop. Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned for much more. At 12 noon, I'll have Jennifer Lawless, the chair of the Political Science Department at the University of Virginia. She'll be talking about how the Biden administration is handling the Russian invasion into Ukraine, what the implications are both militarily and economically. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. If you haven't gotten boosted, 90% of Rhode Island's gotten their first 2 shots. Get the third. Please get boosted. Keep everybody healthy and keep the economy coming back. And Wilbury playing live. Thanks, everyone.